for the grow nerds listening, there's like, obviously in the grow room, that's the big piece of it. But people forgot about what happens afterwards, right? So when you look at the quality of flower, you also kind of see the motivation behind the people producing it. And a lot of folks, there's a tremendous amount of like cultivators in California. I mean, there's a lot of talent here. But then the system doesn't get set up to support the flower all the way through, right? So you can do like a perfect, like look, wine and grapes, man. Some perfect grapes doesn't guarantee you're gonna have the best wine. It could turn to vinegar like that. And that was lost for the first, 5 or 6 years of legalization. I mean, you just saw a ton of like production start kicking on. Nobody was willing to do OGs. Nobody was willing to do it right or even knew how to, right? Because we went from selling pound bags and we knew how to cure in those. We knew how to burp them. We knew everything about that. But now you're breaking them down into jars. So our process was like, we saw how much it fucked up the weed. So we didn't really produce Titan OG for years because we couldn't get it to scale in a sealed room. And so like our thing here is like a lot of us included at first, we didn't know how to measure whether the flower was expressing the qualities we called Titan OG or any of the other flower. And Titan being so finicky, we'd grow it and it wouldn't be that. And so we wouldn't put it in the market. We don't put it in the market. We get emails all the time, people, angry emails, loving emails across the board, like, where the fuck is Titan OG? Where can we find it? Why haven't you produced it? And the reality is we have produced that genetic, but we don't release it under that name unless it hits everything. And that has a lot to do with like the winemaking spectrum too. And I think OG was forgotten because nobody has the capacity or willing or whatever it is to actually make it a real OG all the way through the process because it's so hard.
Yeah. And it has, I'd say over a lot of other herb, a real kind of lifespan. Once you trim it and it's kind of been disrupted, it has a real shelf life, to actually like get to market, get jarred up and still be what you need it to be, to get that awesome experience.
Well, and the difference with OG, there's certain strains that do this for people listening that don't know, but like certain phenotypes and certain genetics, if it's not AAA, like I'm talking grand slam home run, there's a large gap between that and then the next level of it, to the point where it's like, what happened to this batch? And you're like, nothing. One slight click to the right or to the left. Some strains, Purple Punch, Wedding Cake, the difference between AAA, AA, and A is hardly noticeable by most people, if at all. Some strains, massive difference. You wouldn't even know sometimes it's the same cut. You'd be like, this is the same as that. And you're like, yep, cocoa, watered one extra time, messed it up.
Yep.
And OG is that. And that's why you have a fine line you have to walk and you can't vary it. And if you do, which is welcome to growing, it's not tight.